Good afternoon, everyone. We've all felt it, that spark of inspiration. It's the moment when an idea grabs us, when the possibilities seem endless, and we feel a rush of energy to create, to improve, to achieve. Inspiration is intoxicating. It fills us with a vision of what could be. Understanding your why is the foundation for turning inspiration into action. It's not just a trendy phrase or a feel-good mantra. It's the very essence of what makes us move forward, push through challenges, and remain resilient when things get tough. Without clarity about why we are doing something, even the most powerful inspiration can fizzle out, leaving us stagnant. The why provides the anchor, the guiding light that keeps us steady and focused, even when distractions and obstacles appear along the way. Think about a moment when you felt deeply inspired to act on an idea or a dream. Maybe it was a business concept, a creative project, or a lifestyle change. That initial spark likely filled you with excitement, a sense of purpose, and boundless energy. But that spark alone wasn't enough. If you paused for too long, or if life got in the way, you might have noticed that the excitement faded. Why does this happen? It's because the fire of inspiration needs something deeper to sustain it. And that is the clarity of purpose. When you know your why, you create a well of meaning that fuels your actions, even when the initial excitement dims. Your why is not a task or a goal. It's the underlying reason those goals matter. It's the emotional connection you have to the outcome, the impact you want to create, or the person you want to become. It's personal and uniquely yours. For some, the why might be about contributing to others, making a difference in their community, or solving a specific problem in the world. For others, it could be about fulfilling their potential, proving something to themselves, or providing security for their family. The why is the beating heart of everything we do. Many people fall into the trap of confusing their what with their why. The what is the result they're chasing: writing a book, starting a business, or improving their health. The why goes deeper. Writing a book could be about sharing a message you feel the world needs to hear. Starting a business might be about creating freedom and opportunity for yourself and others. Improving your health might stem from wanting to be present for your loved ones and enjoy life more fully. When you connect your actions to a strong and meaningful why, you don't just have a task to complete, you have a mission. Clarity about your why also helps you navigate through challenges and setbacks. When the road gets difficult, when success feels distant, your why becomes your source of strength. It's what keeps you moving forward when everything else tempts you to quit. Without it, you're left to rely on fleeting motivation, which isn't strong enough to carry you through hard times. People who succeed in bringing their ideas to life aren't just the ones who are the most talented or the most prepared, they are the ones who remain committed to their purpose. Their why sustains them when effort feels pointless and progress seems invisible. Discovering your why takes reflection and honesty. It's not always an answer you arrive at immediately. Sometimes it requires peeling back layers of what you think you want and getting to the heart of what truly drives you. Ask yourself, why does this idea excite me? What about this goal feels meaningful? Who or what will benefit from my success? How will achieving this align with my values? When you keep asking why, each answer uncovers another layer until you arrive at something that feels undeniable, a core truth about who you are and what you stand for. When your why is clear, it acts as both a motivator and a filter. It gives you the ability to prioritize and make decisions that align with your purpose. You'll find it easier to say no to distractions or opportunities that don't serve your deeper goals, because your why makes your priorities unmistakable. This doesn't mean life becomes effortless. It doesn't remove all fear or doubt, but it gives your actions a direction that feels worth pursuing, even when the path is challenging. A clear why also inspires others. People are naturally drawn to those who act with purpose. When you communicate your why effectively, whether in words, through your work, or by the way you live, you create a ripple effect that encourages others to find and act on their own purpose. This doesn't mean you have to lead a global movement or be in a position of authority. Purpose is contagious. Your actions, when rooted in a clear why, resonate with others and have the power to create impact far beyond your immediate circle. At its core, the why is about creating alignment. It aligns your thoughts, emotions, and actions around a central purpose that keeps you focused and energized. It transforms inspiration from a fleeting emotion into a sustainable force. When you wake up each day and reconnect with your why, even the mundane tasks start to feel meaningful. You understand that every small step, every bit of progress contributes to something greater, something deeply personal and important. Starting before you're ready is one of the most liberating and transformative principles for turning inspiration into action. Yet, it's also one of the most challenging because it forces you to confront the fear and uncertainty that often paralyze progress. The idea that readiness is a prerequisite for action is a myth many of us unconsciously buy into. We wait for the perfect moment, the right skills, or a time when everything feels just right, but in reality, that moment rarely, if ever, comes. Readiness is not a condition to be met, it's a result of starting. Think about the times you've postponed a project, idea, or goal because you felt you weren't fully prepared. Maybe you didn't have all the resources, the expertise, or the confidence you thought were necessary. It's easy to rationalize waiting. I need more time, I need to learn more. Or I'll start when the situation is less chaotic, but the truth is, waiting often disguises itself as preparation, and preparation becomes procrastination. Progress requires action, and action starts when you make the decision to move forward, even when the conditions are imperfect. When you start before you're ready, you tap into the power of momentum. Momentum is one of the most underrated forces in personal and professional growth. It creates a feedback loop where small actions build upon one another, leading to significant progress over time. The first step might feel clumsy, awkward, or incomplete, but it doesn't matter. Taking that initial leap is like rolling a snowball down a hill. It grows as it moves. The confidence and clarity you're waiting for, those come through doing. The fear of not being ready often stems from a fear of failure or judgment. We imagine all the ways things could go wrong, the mistakes we might make, or how others might perceive us. This fear can feel paralyzing, but it's important to recognize that these worries are almost always overblown. Mistakes are part of the process, not the end of it. In fact, they are often the most effective teachers. Starting before you're ready shifts your mindset from focusing on the potential for failure to embracing the opportunity to learn and grow. Perfectionism is another significant barrier. Many people delay action because they want their first attempt to be flawless. But perfectionism is just fear in disguise. The pursuit of perfection keeps you in a cycle of endless preparation, where nothing ever feels good enough to share with the world. Starting before you're ready means accepting that your first steps won't be perfect, and that's okay. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. You'll refine, adjust, and improve as you go. The only way to truly learn and improve is by doing, not by endlessly theorizing or preparing. When you embrace the mindset of starting before you're ready, you also unlock creativity and resourcefulness. Often, the best ideas and solutions emerge under constraints. When you don't have all the answers, you're forced to think differently, to experiment, and to adapt. This process of trial and error isn't a setback, it's a gift. It pushes you to innovate, to stretch beyond your comfort zone, and to discover abilities you didn't know you had. Many of the most successful ventures in history began with people who didn't feel ready but chose to act anyway, learning and adapting as they went. Another powerful benefit of starting before you're ready is the opportunity to test and validate your ideas early. When you spend too much time planning or preparing, you risk investing in ideas that may not resonate or work as intended. Action, even in its simplest form, provides real-world feedback. It allows you to see what's working and what isn't, enabling you to adjust your approach before committing significant time or resources. This iterative process not only saves time but also increases the likelihood of success by ensuring you're building something valuable and relevant. Starting before you're ready also challenges and rewires limiting beliefs. Many of us carry internal narratives about what we're capable of, beliefs shaped by past experiences, societal expectations, or self-doubt. These narratives often tell us that we need to have all the answers, all the skills, and all the resources before we begin. But the moment you take action, despite those doubts, you prove those beliefs wrong. Each small step forward builds evidence that you are capable, resourceful, and resilient. Over time, this transforms not just what you do, but how you see yourself. Starting before you're ready creates alignment between intention and action. When you feel inspired but don't act, there's a disconnect. That gap can lead to frustration, self-doubt, and the slow erosion of belief in your own potential. But when you take action, no matter how small, you bridge that gap. You align your actions with your aspirations, creating a sense of integrity and momentum. This alignment fuels a cycle of progress that builds upon itself, making it easier to keep moving forward, even when new challenges arise. Taking small steps is one of the most powerful ways to transform inspiration into meaningful action. It may seem counterintuitive when the vision you have feels big, exciting, and larger than life. After all, we're often drawn to the idea of monumental changes, dramatic leaps, or grand achievements. But big dreams are not achieved in one giant move. They are built step by step, with consistent, deliberate progress that may seem unremarkable in the moment but creates exponential results over time. Small steps are the bridge between the spark of an idea and the realization of something extraordinary. The challenge with big ideas is that they can feel overwhelming. When you think about the end goal, whether it's launching a new business, completing a major project, or making a life change, the distance between where you are now and where you want to be can seem insurmountable. This sense of being overwhelmed can lead to procrastination, self-doubt, and even paralysis. The goal feels so far away that you convince yourself it's unattainable, and as a result, you don't start at all. Small steps solve this problem because they break down the enormity of the goal into manageable, actionable tasks that you can accomplish today, right now. Taking small steps is about focusing on progress, not perfection. Too often we get caught up in the idea that our actions need to be perfectly executed or that every move needs to lead directly to the final goal. But the reality is that progress is rarely linear. Growth is messy, and results often come from an accumulation of effort over time, not from single, decisive actions. When you take small steps, you allow yourself to make mistakes, adjust, and learn as you go. These small victories compound, building momentum and confidence that carry you forward. One of the greatest strengths of small steps is that they are accessible. No matter how ambitious your goal is, there is always a step you can take that is within your power today. It might be researching an idea, reaching out to someone for advice, setting up a system, or even just writing down your goals to gain clarity. Small actions have a way of adding up, and what feels insignificant in the moment can set off a chain reaction of events that lead to something much larger. The key is to identify the next most logical step and take it without hesitation. Small steps also build discipline and consistency, which are essential for sustaining long-term efforts. A single burst of inspiration might push you to act initially, but it is the daily, repeated effort that truly brings results. Consistency is built through habits, and habits start with small, repeatable actions. If you want to accomplish something big, you must focus not on the size of the dream, but on the daily behaviors that will get you there. Over time, these actions become second nature, creating a steady rhythm that keeps you moving even when motivation wanes. Taking small steps also makes room for adjustment and adaptation. When you act incrementally, you create opportunities to evaluate your progress and adjust your approach based on feedback or changing circumstances. Big, sweeping actions often come with the risk of significant failure because they don't leave room for flexibility. Small actions, on the other hand, allow you to test ideas, experiment, and pivot when needed. They give you the freedom to refine your vision and process as you learn more about what works and what doesn't, minimizing risk while maximizing growth. The psychological power of small steps cannot be overstated. Every time you take action, no matter how small, you create a sense of achievement that builds confidence and reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed. These little wins act as a powerful motivator, encouraging you to keep going even when the journey feels long or uncertain. Progress, no matter how minor, feeds momentum, and momentum is one of the most critical factors in achieving success. The act of moving forward, however small the step, shifts your mindset from a passive dreamer to an active doer. Another significant benefit of taking small steps is the ripple effect they create. When you take consistent action, even on a small scale, you generate opportunities, connections, and results that you may not have anticipated. These outcomes build on each other, opening doors and creating pathways that weren't visible when you first began. Success is often the result of compounded effort, and small steps set this compounding process in motion. What starts as a simple action can evolve into a sequence of events that leads to extraordinary achievements. Small steps are not about thinking small, they are about acting strategically. They allow you to maintain focus on the task at hand while keeping sight of the bigger picture. Each step brings you closer to your goal while keeping the process manageable and sustainable. When you consistently take small steps, you build a foundation of progress that can support even the loftiest ambitions. This approach may not be flashy or immediate, but it is reliable, effective, and deeply empowering. Embracing discomfort is an essential part of turning inspiration into action. yet it's often the very thing we try to avoid. Discomfort is a natural reaction to stepping into the unknown, challenging yourself, or pursuing something bigger than your current circumstances. It signals that you're leaving the safety of what's familiar and venturing into growth territory. While the feeling of discomfort can be unsettling, it's also the clearest indicator that you're doing something that matters. Growth and progress require discomfort, not as a punishment, but as a prerequisite for change. To embrace it is to make peace with the fact that achieving something worthwhile often comes with a degree of unease. Discomfort arises because the mind is wired for safety and predictability. When you decide to act on an idea, pursue a goal, or step into a new challenge, your mind reacts as if it's a threat, creating resistance in the form of fear, self-doubt, or hesitation. This is entirely natural, but it's also misleading. The discomfort you feel doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. More often than not, it's a sign that you're exactly where you need to be on the edge of your comfort zone, where growth happens. The difference between those who act on their inspiration and those who don't is not the absence of discomfort, but their willingness to move forward despite it. Discomfort also comes in many forms. It can look like uncertainty when you don't know how things will turn out. It can feel like vulnerability when you share your ideas or put your work into the world. It can manifest as rejection when something you try doesn't succeed. Each form of discomfort serves a purpose. Uncertainty teaches you to embrace the unknown and trust the process. Vulnerability connects you to others in ways you can't achieve by staying guarded. Rejection builds resilience and teaches you to refine your approach. These experiences may feel uncomfortable, but they are some of the most valuable lessons you'll ever encounter. One of the most common mistakes people make when pursuing their goals is waiting for the discomfort to go away before they act. They believe they need to feel confident, prepared, or assured before taking the first step. But that's not how growth works. Confidence doesn't come before action, it comes as a result of it. Each time you act in the face of discomfort, you prove to yourself that you're capable of navigating challenges. This builds trust in your own abilities and gradually diminishes the power of fear and doubt. The more you embrace discomfort, the more you expand your capacity for it, making it easier to face challenges in the future. Another important aspect of embracing discomfort is recognizing the distinction between pain and growth. Pain is suffering without purpose, but discomfort in the context of growth has meaning. It's the temporary struggle you endure on the way to achieving something meaningful. Athletes understand this concept well. The burn of a workout or the fatigue of practice is uncomfortable, but they accept it because they know it leads to strength, endurance, and skill. Similarly, when you embrace the discomfort of stepping into the unknown, making mistakes, or facing criticism, you're building the emotional and mental muscles needed to turn your inspiration into action. Discomfort also teaches you humility. When you step into something new, you inevitably face moments where you don't have all the answers, where you make mistakes, or where things don't go as planned. These moments can be frustrating or even embarrassing, but they also ground you. They remind you that growth is a process, not an instant achievement. Embracing discomfort means accepting that you don't have to be perfect or have everything figured out before you start. It means giving yourself permission to learn, to adapt, and to grow along the way. The relationship between discomfort and growth isn't limited to individual actions, it's also tied to identity. When you act on inspiration, you're not just achieving external goals, you're reshaping how you see yourself. Discomfort arises because part of your mind is resisting this change, holding on to the familiar version of who you are. But as you push through those moments of discomfort, you start to redefine what you're capable of and who you're becoming. Each time you choose growth over comfort, you're reinforcing a new identity, one that aligns with your aspirations and values. One way to embrace discomfort is to reframe how you think about it. Instead of seeing discomfort as a barrier, view it as evidence that you're stretching yourself. Instead of letting it deter you, let it motivate you by reminding you that you're doing something bold and worthwhile. Another strategy is to break big challenges into smaller steps. By focusing on manageable actions, you reduce the intensity of discomfort while still making progress. Surrounding yourself with supportive people can also help. Their encouragement and perspective can make the discomfort feel less isolating and more manageable. Discomfort is not the enemy. It is a guide, a teacher, and a signpost that you're on a path that matters. While it's not easy to embrace, it is always worthwhile. The willingness to face discomfort is what separates those who dream from those who achieve, those who talk about ideas from those who bring them to life. Each moment of discomfort you face is a choice between staying where you are and becoming who you're meant to be. Building a support system is one of the most underestimated yet vital elements of turning inspiration into action. While it's natural to focus on your individual drive, skills, and vision, the truth is that no significant achievement happens in isolation. The journey from an idea to its realization is often long, uncertain, and filled with challenges. Having a group of people who support, guide, and encourage you along the way can make all the difference. Your support system acts as a foundation, providing strength during setbacks, perspective in moments of doubt, and celebration in times of success. It's not just about having people to cheer you on, it's about surrounding yourself with those who bring out the best in you and push you to reach your potential. A strong support system isn't necessarily large, it's about quality, not quantity. The people who form this circle should align with your values, respect your aspirations, and be willing to challenge you constructively when needed. They are the ones who will provide honest feedback, even if it's uncomfortable to hear, because they care about your growth. They're the ones who believe in your vision, not because it's perfect, but because they see its potential and trust your ability to bring it to life. These individuals act as mirrors, reflecting back your strengths when you're too caught up in your doubts to see them yourself. One of the key roles of a support system is to provide perspective. When you're deep in the process of pursuing a goal, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. Setbacks can feel like failures, and obstacles can seem insurmountable. This is where the people around you can offer valuable insights. They can remind you of how far you've come, point out opportunities you may have overlooked, and help you reframe challenges as part of the learning process. Their outside perspective can keep you grounded and prevent you from making decisions based purely on emotion or temporary frustration. In addition to perspective, a support system offers accountability. It's one thing to set goals for yourself, but when you share those goals with someone else, you create a sense of responsibility to follow through. Whether it's a mentor, a friend, or a group of peers, having someone check in on your progress can help you stay committed, even when your motivation wanes. Accountability partners don't let you settle for excuses or abandon your goals when the going gets tough. They hold you to a higher standard, not to criticize or control, but to ensure you stay aligned with your aspirations. Your support system also serves as a source of energy and encouragement. Pursuing big goals can be draining, both physically and emotionally. There will be times when you feel like giving up, when the obstacles seem too great, or when self-doubt starts to creep in. In those moments, the right people can remind you why you started, reignite your passion, and offer the encouragement you need to keep going. Their belief in you can strengthen your belief in yourself. This sense of connection and shared purpose can make even the hardest challenges feel more manageable. The importance of diversity within your support system cannot be overstated. Surrounding yourself with people who think differently, come from different backgrounds, or have varied experiences can provide you with fresh ideas and unique perspectives. These individuals can challenge your assumptions, spark creative solutions, and help you see possibilities that you might not have considered on your own. A diverse support system expands your thinking and ensures that your decisions and actions are informed by a wide range of insights. It's also essential to understand that a support system is not a one-way street. Just as others contribute to your journey, you also have a responsibility to contribute to theirs. Be the kind of person who offers encouragement, honest feedback, and support to those around you. When you invest in the growth and success of others, you build relationships that are mutually enriching and empowering. This dynamic creates a sense of community where everyone benefits and thrives together. At times, building a support system may require you to reevaluate your existing relationships. Not everyone in your life will understand or align with your goals, and that's okay. The people closest to you may not always be the ones who are best equipped to support your specific journey. It's important to recognize the difference between those who genuinely uplift you and those who might inadvertently hold you back. Surrounding yourself with people who share your mindset, values, or vision doesn't mean cutting ties with others. It means intentionally creating an environment that fosters growth. Mentors, in particular, play a crucial role within a support system. These are individuals who have walked a similar path and can offer guidance, wisdom, and encouragement based on their own experiences. A good mentor is not just a source of answers, but someone who challenges you to think critically, take ownership of your decisions, and stretch beyond your perceived limits. They provide the kind of support that goes beyond superficial advice, helping you navigate complexities with clarity and confidence. Building a support system takes time and intentional effort. It requires vulnerability and openness, as well as the willingness to ask for help when you need it. It also means recognizing the value of collaboration and letting go of the idea that you have to do everything alone. Support is not a sign of weakness, it's a strategic advantage. When you actively cultivate meaningful relationships with people who believe in your vision and share in your journey, you're not just creating a network of allies, you're building a foundation for lasting success. Action fuels clarity, and it is one of the most transformative principles for turning inspiration into results. Often, people wait for a sense of certainty or direction before they begin pursuing their ideas. They want to have every detail mapped out, every obstacle anticipated, and every potential outcome fully understood. But the truth is, clarity doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. The act of taking action, however imperfect or incomplete, provides insights and experiences that no amount of planning or contemplation can replicate. It's through movement, experimentation, and engagement with the real world that you begin to uncover what works, what doesn't, and where your efforts should truly be focused. When you take action, you gather data both external and internal. Externally, you receive feedback from the environment, whether it's through results, reactions from others, or unexpected challenges that arise. Internally, you learn about your own abilities, preferences, and passions. You begin to see patterns, identify opportunities, and recognize areas where you may need to improve or pivot. These lessons are impossible to predict or fully understand beforehand. They only emerge through the process of doing. In this way, action acts as a guide, revealing the path forward step by step. One of the reasons people hesitate to act is the fear of making mistakes. Mistakes are often seen as failures or signs of inadequacy, but they are actually one of the most valuable sources of clarity. When you make a mistake, you gain a better understanding of what doesn't work. And that information helps refine your approach. The quicker you make and learn from those mistakes, the faster you'll achieve the clarity you're seeking. Mistakes are not setbacks, they are stepping stones. Each misstep brings you closer to understanding the nuances of your path and sharpens your ability to navigate it effectively. Action also has a way of dispelling the fog of indecision. When you're stuck in analysis or overthinking, every potential choice can feel equally viable or equally daunting. But once you take a step in any direction, you immediately gain a clearer sense of whether that path aligns with your goals. Even if it turns out not to be the right direction, you've gained valuable information that allows you to course correct. Standing still, on the other hand, yields nothing but uncertainty. Progress, however small or seemingly insignificant, is the antidote to doubt and confusion. Clarity gained through action also extends to your understanding of what you truly want. Inspiration often begins with a vague vision or an abstract idea. You might feel drawn to something without fully knowing why or how to pursue it. By acting on that initial spark, even in the smallest way, you begin to clarify the deeper motivations and intentions behind your desire. You discover whether the vision aligns with your values, whether it energizes you, and whether it's worth investing further effort. Action acts as a filter, separating fleeting curiosity from genuine passion and purpose. Another powerful aspect of action is the momentum it creates. The hardest step in any journey is often the first one, especially when the path ahead feels uncertain. But once you begin, the act of moving forward generates energy and a sense of possibility. Momentum fuels further action, which in turn deepens your clarity. Even small actions, writing down an idea, making a phone call, or researching a topic can set a powerful chain reaction in motion. This momentum doesn't just move you forward, it transforms the way you see yourself. You shift from being someone who dreams to someone who does, and that change in identity is profoundly empowering. Taking action also cultivates resilience and adaptability, two qualities that are essential for navigating the unexpected. No plan survives contact with reality unchanged, and the ability to adapt is often the difference between success and stagnation. Through action, you encounter obstacles, discover gaps in your knowledge, and face challenges you couldn't have anticipated. These experiences build your capacity to handle uncertainty and change, teaching you how to pivot and persevere. With each action you take, you become better equipped to handle whatever comes next. Importantly, action doesn't need to be grand or decisive to be meaningful. Small, consistent actions are often the most effective at generating clarity over time. Instead of waiting for the perfect plan or a moment of certainty, focus on what you can do today. What small experiment can you run? What conversation can you start? What idea can you test? These micro actions accumulate, creating a foundation of insight and progress that gradually reveals the bigger picture. Clarity doesn't arrive all at once, it unfolds, piece by piece, as a result of sustained effort. Finally, action builds confidence, and confidence further enhances clarity. Every time you take a step forward, no matter how uncertain or imperfect, you prove to yourself that you're capable of moving through fear, doubt, and hesitation. This self-trust reinforces your ability to take the next step, even when the outcome is unclear. Confidence is not the absence of uncertainty, it's the willingness to act in spite of it. With each action, you strengthen your ability to navigate the unknown. And that strength brings a sense of clarity and direction that no amount of waiting could ever provide. So what will you do with the inspiration you've been given? Will you let it sit in the corner of your mind, waiting for a someday that may never come? Or will you choose to act not perfectly, not flawlessly, but intentionally and with purpose? Inspiration gives us vision, but action creates reality. If you can take even the smallest step toward what inspires you today, you'll discover something incredible: progress. And with progress comes momentum. And with momentum, your vision begins to take shape. The secret to turning inspiration into action isn't complex. It's about starting before you're ready, embracing the messiness of growth, and having the courage to try even when success isn't guaranteed. You already have the spark. Now go ignite the fire. Thank you.